Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Pink Soccer Reacts. We are live finally. Sorry we missed y'all last week. We needed sleep and some recovery time, but everyone that's hitting up the chat, thank you so much. Everyone that is listening, thank you so much. We're going to be talking about the one, the only Zombeavers. We're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched the
Look
movie
at that
last.
leg.
Look at that leg. The fucking.
And that dog.
The dog's the best part, dude.
Yeah.
But that is the poster that I made for Zombeavers. So before we jump in, I would like to announce some guests that we have coming up. We have Justin Sanford coming onto the show. Sorry, my phone's notifications are going off.
Well, you said Justin Bieber. I'm like, whoa.
No,
Dude.
Justin Sanford of Neverwake. He's of the national touring act Neverwake. He's actually from Pittsburgh, though. Here he is, Justin Sanford. He's going to be on next week. It's premiering on the 3rd. We're going to be talking to him on the 1st. Is there anything that you wanted to promote or anything you wanted to talk about before we jump into this?
Oh, no. Nah, nothing.
You're
Just,
like, now that you mentioned it, no.
Just shout out to this company here.
What company is
Sponsor
that?
us. It's
What company is that?
Dash Water.
Dash
Sparkling water. Yeah. So if you're listening to this Dash Water company, sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Dash.
Yeah.
Us. Not Dash from Co-op. The other.
Nah, he's too cool for us.
He's too cool. He's too cool to even be on the show. All right,
that is kind of true.
Let's talk about Zombeavers. What should we do? Should we jump into the movie, or should we talk about like some of the funny mishaps in the movie? Should we talk about certain scenes? Talk about the scenes.
I think we should talk about. We should talk about just certain scenes and the funny parts of the movie.
Like, should we go through the movie from beginning to end, or just talk about funny parts of the movie?
Just do a brief.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to do the brief in order, though. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to go through each tiny scene and just do like a brief kind of like that. That sound good?
Yeah.
All right. This movie was released before we start. It was released on March 20th, 2015. However, that was when it was released on DVD or theatrically released. The film actually had a world premiere on April 19th, 2014, a year before it was released. Isn't that weird?
I really couldn't believe that was released in theaters.
It was.
Because I can't really see a movie like that being in theaters.
It didn't get very good box office reception.
Of course not.
It wasn't released in very many theaters. Its official first release was at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Okay.
They must have had a big budget, though. No, the reason why yes, here's why I think so. Okay, I'm gonna do the scenes like I normally do, but we're gonna talk about like the best parts of these scenes and what happens. The movie it starts off with these two guys driving a truck. Now, you will recognize the first guy. The first guy is played by Bill Burr.
Yeah, right.
Do you know who the guy with the mustache is?
No.
John Mayer.
Really?
Go back and rewatch. It's John fucking Mayer.
Let me just look this up quickly because this is new to me.
Yeah, that's John Mayer with a fake mustache and a wig.
It's man.
I don't even know if it's a wig, but that's John Mayer's like film debut. That's his first movie he was ever in.
A dodgy B-grade horror movie.
Right? You know who else is in it?
Who?
You know who else is? The Backstreet Boys.
What? No way.
At the very end of the movie, the Backstreet Boys get a film credit because they are dressed up like the Bear, I do believe.
I found the picture. Yeah, I'll see if I can put it up.
That is John Mayer, my friend. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I couldn't pick it out.
But John Mayer plays Luke, and Bill Burr plays Joseph. There are two truckers.
Hilarious.
They're two truckers that are transporting some toxic waste. And they're just driving, and they're talking. This is the part that I started dying laughing because they're telling stories about their lives and shit. And
yeah,
Bill Burr was like, "So my woman got pregnant, and now she's all emotional. And I told her I loved her. Am I a bad person for that?"
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
And then he's like, and then he's like, "Yeah, there it is. It's John Mayer and fucking Bill Burr."
That's hilarious, man. John Mayer, grow that mustache, man.
You need to grow that fucking mustache, bro. But they're driving, and Bill Burr's like, "So I dated a man once." Like out of nowhere. He's like, "I dated a man once. It was kind of weird." He's like, "It wasn't the sex or the penis, it was the facial hair." And then John Mayer's character was like, "I see a lot of me in that story." And he's like, "No, you don't. That was only one time."
Oh, man.
And then he gets on his phone and he's texting. And John Mayer's character's like, "Yo, do you see that deer?" And he's like, "Yeah, I see it." And he ends up hitting it anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I think I got a picture of that up here too.
Yeah, and then when he hits the deer, fucking John Mayer's character's like, "I'm going to get out." And he gets out, sees the deer, and he's like, "Well, there's no saving it." Even though it's in like a million pieces hanging off the bumper. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That is expert fucking graphicness right there, though. That's some expert
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, you see this toxic canister fall off the back of the truck. It lands in the water, and it floats down the stream. Now, something that's kind of funny, if you know anything about science or anything, if that canister was full, it wouldn't have been floating. It would have been sinking.
Yeah.
But this full canister of toxic waste is going down the river or whatever. It lands by these very realistic beavers, I must add. The technology, hold on, let me turn my phone off, my notifications off real quick. I usually put on Do Not Disturb when I'm on here. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, very realistic looking beavers. This canister bursts open and squirts out all over the fucking beaver dam. And then we meet our 3 out of 6 main characters. We meet Mary, Zoe, and Jen. To make a long story short, Jen finds out that her boyfriend was cheating and he was texting her. And Mary, Zoe, and Jen are on their way to, who is it, Mary's cousin's house to go on vacation, or was it Zoe's cousin's house?
I think it was Zoe's.
Actually, no, it's Mary's, because it says right here, sorry. They're going to Mary's cousin's cabin that just happens to be near the dam that just got splashed. They insist that the next 2 days are going to be without interruptions from technology and boys to try to help Jen feel better after the breakup. So the girls decide, hey, we're going to swim in the lake. And that's when they discover the beaver dam.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I want to see a beaver. So do I, ladies. But they want to see a beaver. So they're looking for the dam. They find the dam, and then they try to get closer to the beaver by going to its nesting thing. And that's when they get greeted by a bear.
Yeah. Nothing
really cool happens during this scene other than you see a set of titties. One of the girls is topless. They meet this hunter who shoots at the bear and saves them from the bear. Then that's when they pretty much go back to the house. The guy's like, you harlots need to dress more appropriately, or whatever he calls them. He's straight savage. He's like, y'all need to dress more appropriately. Well, when they try to get back into the house, they're chilling in the house, talking about pissing on the couch. I don't know what all they talked about, but they're talking about all kinds of crazy shit. They're talking about They were trying to Amber Heard the situation, but they were talking about all kinds of great.
This is way before the Amber Heard situation.
Yeah, this was way before. But they're all hanging out at the house, talking about relationship issues and whatever. And then they hear a noise outside. And they go outside. And this is kind of when the tension's high during horror movies. Because we know there's some shit going on, but they don't. Well, they go outside and you're rustling around. The door slams. They're locked outside. You think there's a beaver coming, but it's actually the boyfriends of the girls. If I'm not mistaken, not really a whole lot happens other than them talking about, we need to fuck. I need to get my blah, blah, blah. I need to get my pee-pee wet. I don't know what they say, but they're like, I need to get my pee-pee wet. But they all decide to go in the house. And that's when we meet Buck, Tommy, and Sam. Sam's the one that cheated. Buck's the stoner. Tommy's kind of like the football type guy, I do believe.
Yeah.
They all go inside, and Sam tries to approach Jen, and Jen's like, get off me, you cheated on me. And that's when he says, well, it couldn't get more awkward. Well, it could. Because in the next scene, they're sitting on the couch listening to the moans and screams of all their friends going to Poundland, which in Britain, that's a Dollar General, but in this movie, it's not. But all the friends are in Pound Town. Now, Pound Town, yes. Sam then tries to get all up in her situation, literally. And she's like, I'm going to scream. And Sam was like, whoa, join the club. And that's when she kisses him and then knees him in the balls. If anything describes my love life, that's it. Every time I get kicked in the balls. But the couples decide to separate after having sex because, you hit it and then you quit it and then you come back together. You know how the old saying goes. Jen decides she needs to take a shower. And this is when we finally meet one of the beavers. The beaver attacks her. And she's like, ah! And leaves the room. And she's like, there's a beaver in there. And they're like, yeah, there was, but you left the bathroom or something. There's a lot of fucking weird beaver vagina jokes in this movie. I think that's why Gorak likes this movie. There's a lot of them. But she goes in there and she's like, oh my God, I got attacked by a beaver. And then all of them walk up to the door cinematically, which in real life, let's be real, one person would have went in there and killed the fucking thing. Everybody else would have chilled out in the living room.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
that's how it normally is anyway in horror movies.
Right. But Sam has the bat first, but Tommy's like, you don't have balls, and stole the bat. He ended up going in there. The beaver popped out of the fucking cabinet, attacked Buck, but didn't hurt him any. They end up killing it, we think, and sticking it in a bag and throwing it outside. Is there anything else you remember from the scene you want to add?
No.
I want to add how realistic the beavers are in this movie. Like, that had to have been a real big budget.
It was, I reckon they were puppets.
They were.
Because there couldn't be puppies dressing up as fucking beavers. That'd be too weird.
No, I think it was puppets, animatronics, really.
Yeah, I think so. If you watch the end credits, you'll see the bloopers.
But in the morning, though, going on to the next scene, I'm not really rushing through it, but I'm trying to get through the movie and add our favorite parts and stuff. They wake up the next morning and they are getting ready to go swim in the pond together. And they realize, or the lake or whatever it is, they realize that the beaver's missing. The bloody bag is still there, but the beaver's missing. Everyone else is like, oh, well, there's wildlife. Wildlife ate it. That bear earlier probably ate it. Who knows? And Jen's like, no, it did not get eaten. Well, all but Jen end up going swimming in the lake. And this is when a plot twist happens.
Yeah.
Sam and Mary are sitting on the wood plank that's out in the water. The wood that's out in the water. I forget what it's called, a buoy or whatever. I forget what it's called. But they're sitting on this plank. And Sam looks at Mary and says, have you seen the mysterious photo going around? Basically, him cheating was him kissing this girl at a party. And that's when Mary says, yeah, she keeps giving it to me to decipher who the girl is. And Sam's like, oh, you haven't told her that it's you. So we find out that her friend Mary is helped her boyfriend Sam cheat, and they're cheating together. And Mary's cheating on Tommy. It's a soap opera. It's a beaver. Cheat fest. It's a cheat fest soap opera. Fucking zombie beaver horror flick. I don't know what you got me into, Greg, but
you are very welcome, my friend.
I like it. But
me too.
Without further ado, though, we get interrupted by the cheat fest by Buck getting taken underwater after Jen tried going into the water and saying something grazed my leg. He got taken underwater. There's blood. I do believe Tommy got taken underwater too, but he didn't get hurt. They swam onto the plank. We realized that Buck's foot is missing.
Yeah.
Good thing he's a stoner, because he's going to need a lot of edibles for this type of fucking this type of injury. But they're like, where's Jen? And Jen said, fuck you. And she ran to the house. She's like, I see beavers, I'm running. She gets to the house, tries calling 911. The beavers are extremely smart, and they ate all the phone lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she gets attacked by a beaver, and she jumps up on the table, and the beaver's coming at her after she threw it up against the wall. It's cut in half somehow, and she's scooting, and the beaver's coming after her snatch. It's not trying to eat her.
Yeah,
She's spread eagle on the table, and the beaver's trying to eat her out pretty much. Like it's chasing her beaver.
Yeah,
it's like cannibalism.
Chasing a beaver.
Yeah. And she pulls a knife out of nowhere and stabs the beaver in the head or in the back, depending on what scene you're in.
I think it was in the back because it was split open.
No, it was split open before she stabbed it. She threw it up against the cupboard and it's split in half.
Yeah. Oh.
She stabbed it in the first scene. She stabbed it in the head. If you go back and watch, she stabbed it in the head, but in the next few scenes, they moved the knife to its back. Like it's kind of like a cinematic issue. Yeah. They kind of fucked up. See, it's whole right there, but as it's crawling towards her before she stabs it, it breaks in half. I don't know why.
Which is weird.
Yeah, they never really.
How realistic does it look, though?
Dude, that is the most realistic beaver action I've seen. It's almost as realistic as that Velociraptor and Velocipaster.
Well, I thought this was more realistic.
Oh, that's from when it was coming up out of the pier or whatever on the little.
Here's Bevo.
But as she's getting attacked, she stabs the thing in the head. We see them on the plank. They're like, well, we need a distraction. So they fucking yeet this poor girl's puppy into the fucking water.
Yeah.
And it gets eaten by beavers and they escape due to the distraction. They go into the house. They close the door. That's when they see this beaver freaking out and shit, and they stab it several times. And then they get rid of it again. And they're just hanging out in the house. Now, this is when they decide, hold on, let me try to get back to where I was. Okay, the group is in the house. The zombie beavers are surrounding the house. Tommy offers to leave with Buck to get him help for his missing leg. They put his leg on ice and shit. So Zoe decides she's going to accompany them because that's her boyfriend. And they're the only couple that's not fucking cheating at this point.
There's a lot of cheating in this movie.
There is. But it's only two people, though. I do believe. So they drive. Their drive is interrupted by a tree that's knocked down in the middle of the road. Tommy says, I'm going to leave on foot. And then they see this truck. So he grabs guns and shit out of the truck, stealing shit out of the truck, gives it to her and says, I'm leaving on foot. She gets in the car. She starts up the car and you hear noise. She turns around. Tommy! There's a tree that fell down on him and killed him. Presumably killed him. Now, like I said, there's really nothing exciting that happens during the scene other than the hunter comes out of nowhere, pretty much. And he's like, oh, that's my truck. And then ends up going into the truck and then driving back to the house, saving Buck and Zoe. They drive the pickup truck to the house, which now is boarded up because the people in the house is trying to protect themselves from the beavers, even though beavers eat through wood. As we find out later on, it was a dumb idea. And one of the people even says, this is a dumb fucking idea. They're beavers. They eat wood. So due to them not being able to get into the boarded up house, they end up at the neighbor's house where they discover that the neighbors have been killed and their phone lines have been eaten.
Yeah.
These are smart fucking beavers. So as a result to the wounds inside of the house, Jen ends up crawling. She's crawling on top of, what was her name? Mary? The one that cheated? Yeah. Climbs on top of Mary and is like, Mary's like, you're not my type. You're not my type. Well, she's really not going to be your type here in a minute because this bitch turns into a beaver. Her teeth fall out of her face. She gets buck teeth, a tail, and she starts chasing her around the room. They lock her in this room. And now we have Mary and what's his name? I always forget his name. Mary and Sam. Yeah. The two lovers anyway. They end up going into the bathroom, eventually hiding out in there because beavers are coming up through the woodwork and they hit it with a bat. They go into the bathroom. She said, prove that you're not scratched. So Sam takes off his shirt, takes off his pants, takes off his underwear. She does the same thing, shows that they're not scratched. Then they start trying to fuck on the counter.
Yeah.
This is probably the worst kill scene I've ever seen in regards of pain. My man is trying.
I know which one you're on about. I'm trying to find the.
My man is trying to get it in, and his girlfriend comes out of the fucking ground, beaver teeth and all, and bites his dick off. Yeah, she bites his dick right off. And then goes back into the floorboards with him just freaking out. No, and he didn't get to. That's the new definition for blue balls. But then Mary runs, freaking out. Oh my God! And that's when she discovers a beaver caught the house on fire.
Yeah.
So she is running, freaking out. Then we go to the other house where the neighbors are now zombies. One of them is in the bedroom. The girl ends up escaping the bedroom. They're trying to save Buck by fixing his wound. However, Buck turns into a zombie beaver, kills the hunter from behind, causing Zoe to freak the fuck out. She's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then the fucking car slams through the fucking house, saving her because she can't escape because there's beavers everywhere.
Yeah.
So she goes into the house, goes into the vehicle, that broke through the house, and her and Mary are trying to flee away. Now, there goes the neighborhood because the entire neighborhood are zombie beavers except for them two. Even the hunter, and he knows how to shoot still. He's shooting at the fucking vehicle. It's pure pandemonium and chaos. They finally approach the wood in the middle of the road. Yeah. Have I reached your favorite scene yet?
I think you went past it.
What is your favorite scene? Let's go back.
He got his dick pulled off, bitten off.
That's your favorite scene?
You wasn't really expecting that, wouldn't you?
No, like I didn't expect a woman to come out from under the floorboards.
Especially that zombie chick, when that chick got infected and like she was like having sex with her boyfriend on the bed, and that's when she started transformed and shit.
No, she wasn't on the bed with her boyfriend. She was on the bed, or am I thinking of a different scene? Because the scene that I'm talking about, I don't remember somebody turning into during sex. I remember the beaver. She turned into a beaver because what's her name? Jen was climbing on top of Mary, and Mary thought it was for revenge for cheating, and she ended up turning into a beaver, and she escaped.
That might be it. I don't remember too much, but yeah. But
Okay.
it's not as that the scene. Yeah, the scene when he got his dick pulled off was pretty funny because that was very unexpected.
Oh, I am mistaken about a scene, by the way.
What scene?
When the neighbors are turning into zombie beavers, she's actually trapped in the room and she has to jump out the fucking window. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
She didn't escape through the door.
And the that dog.
That scene sucked.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just throw it in there. It's all good.
Like at the very end, it says there was no animals harmed during the making of this film.
Yeah.
But we're pretty much towards the end of the movie. However, let's keep going because the end of the movie is hilarious. It's probably my favorite part of the movie is the end. They're driving. They get to the tree in the middle of the road, and you see you see Tommy is like a zombie, but he's stuck in the tree, so he's no harm. Zoe and Mary are walking, and Zoe's all fucked up.
Yeah.
She just jumped out a window. She's got a crutch. Mary grabs a gun and points it at her. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Well, you may have been bitten." And she's like, "No, these are all scratches from me falling out a window. What's wrong with you?" Blah, blah, blah. And Mary's like freaking out. And they're like, "How do I know you didn't get bit?" Well, Mary got scratched when Jen was on top of her. So Mary ends up turning into a Zombeaver, and Zoe fucking cracks her in the head with an axe.
Yeah.
And kills her.
Yeah.
And then she's kind of limping, walking away. She's the sole survivor. As she sees a truck coming, and she's like, "Hey, hey!" And it's the two truckers. And one of them's like, "You see that girl?" And he's like, "Yep." And he's like, "I trust you." And he fucking hits her. Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious, that part too.
That is hilarious. They need to do a sequel.
Yeah. But could you see like the sequel be like Zombeavers in space?
Zombeavers in space. Actually, they did set up for a sequel during the end credit sequence.
Yeah. Well, did you see in the bloopers the dog where the dog's in the water? And they'll say that dog was supposed to be scared.
Yeah, the dog was supposed to be scared and it wasn't.
Yeah. that was pretty cool. And the scene when that chick was looking for a weapon in the drawer in the kitchen, she pulls out a dildo and throws it. And just like
I forgot about that scene.
Yeah, there was like heaps of bloopers in there.
Well, did you watch the post-credit sequence where they set up for a sequel?
I missed that part. No.
In the post-credit sequence, there's a honeybee, and it ends up getting infected from a corpse of one of the Zombeavers.
Oh, fuck.
And then it goes back to its hive in a zombified state. Like they're setting up for zombies. Or some shit. Even though Zombies is already a movie. It came out it came out a few years before this one.
Really?
But it's a different director and everything, though. I don't think there's going to be a sequel of Zombeavers, though.
Nah, I doubt that.
Did you want to guess what the box office was? How much they made at the box office?
No, you can tell me.
44,080.
Oh, that's better than nothing.
This movie was John Mayer's featured film acting debut, which I said before. Fun fact about this movie, the hunter mentions Gardia lembelia, which is a parasite that was believed to attach to beavers in the 1970s. Beaver fever was real, but there was no connection to actual beavers that they found out. It actually infected horses, cows, and sheep.
Yeah. Yeah, so zombies came out in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And found this other thing too.
What is that?
Zuby.
What the fuck, dude? But the thing about this movie is you notice the bear turned into a zombie. And that bear is supposedly played by the Backstreet Boys because they're given acting credits for that role. What was the budget of the movie? I wasn't able to find the budget.
Let's have a look. I can probably find it.
I found what it grossed in theaters, but I couldn't find the budget. Oh, the gross in U.S. and Canada on opening weekend was only 8,000. The gross worldwide was actually 54,000. So Wikipedia is wrong. The budget.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh no, I was gonna say box office was 44,080.
But the worldwide was like 50,000 or something like that. But I don't know what the budget was. That's the one thing
I think I found it. They said the budget was around about 1.5 million in funding.
Bro, and they didn't even make close to half of that.
Yeah. So
that sucks.
But the rating in IMDb is 4.8 out of 10.
What do you give it?
For a cheesy, stupid, funny horror film, I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
I give it about a 7.
Because it's one of those movies you can just watch every now and again. Just if you're bored or you want to have a movie night with your girl or some friends and stuff, or the family. But
I think it was a really good film, to be honest. When it comes to what it was, what it is, it's not a good horror movie by any means, but I think it's a very good film.
Yeah, it was well done as well, and it was not really many. There wasn't too much of CGI stuff in it either.
No, they used the old-fashioned animatronics and shit.
Yeah. And no green screens, no nothing. Because I just had a look at the behind the scenes pictures before we went on, and everything was down in the lake.
So, did you want to announce the next Pink Sock Reacts?
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be reviewing, and you should have seen it coming. We're not going to be reviewing a B-rated horror film anymore. We're going to be reviewing a Rob Zombie movie, The Munsters. It has been requested. We listened. We're going to be watching The Munsters.
It was requested by me, but yeah.
Yeah, but I've had friends tell me that we should do it. So
yeah, no, it's available on Netflix and other streaming services, I think, or just Netflix, and it's not available in Australia for some reason. But
that's weird.
I downloaded it, but sorry, Rob, but it's a good movie too. I didn't mind it. Fuck the haters.
So, guys, go check out The Munsters before we talk about it so that there's no spoilers or anything. But that was Zombeavers. Is there anything else you would like to add about Zombeavers or that you would like to promote for yourself?
Well, hurry up and make a sequel.
I agree.
And promote, no, nothing.
All right, go follow Gorak on all social medias at Gorak_1985. 1985. Woo-hoo-hoo!
I should sue them for that. No, I'm joking.
You ain't got the money to sue nobody, bro. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'll just sell everything that I have in my apartment.
But guys, as always, live long, rock hard, and I'll see you guys Monday when we have Justin Sanford on to promote Sleepwalker Ball. Love you all, and good day, and I hope you all have a great Wednesday.
And
Much love.
good night.